I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, but just like Pac said, I got my game from the Bay.
Yeah.
And I spent from like 19 to like 31, 32, I was living in the Bay. So East Oakland, California.
For sure. That's good that you said that. I was just with Too Short at the Juneteenth. He killed it. He definitely put on.
Short, yeah, Uncle Short.
Put on.
Now, why do you feel like, because we love Bay Area music, especially up there, like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you feel like Bay Area music is so regional and doesn't like transcend to a mass audience?
I think because the Bay comes from that out of the trunk. You know, they come from out of the trunk. And not only do they come from out of the trunk, they make a lot of money out of the trunk. The Too Short really put a formula in the blueprint for the Bay to go out of the trunk. I feel like in a lot of other cities like LA, New York, the blueprint was go to the labels.
Right.
So when he created that blueprint, everybody automatically, let's go out the trunk. And then, came Ghazi. You know, and so then Empire, they're not really a label, but they're a distribution.
Distro label.
Yeah. So now everybody's new thing is, we're doing everything just to get the Ghazi, you know what I'm saying? So that's like the new thing now. But I think it's Too Short. Too Short, E40, and those OGs, they really set that tone to where you can make good music and you don't have to just go to the labels. You don't have to suffer because the labels ain't looking at you. If you really got good music, go put it out. You know what I'm saying? And he was really giving them the formula to put it out. Like whether it's on the bus, whether it's this, you know what I mean? He was really out there and made it happen.
I think that's all true, and I just wanted to pick your brain on that. Beyond that, I think there is a straight industry blackballing of the Bay Area.
Well, that's
for several years
because of
the Pac thing.
Because of the Pac thing, and then you got to realize, look at some of the biggest artists we have in the Bay, like Filthy Rich, like for example. To me, being from there, he's you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the tops. And I feel
Filthy
it's like he never could get, you know what I mean, get his, but he got a lot more than a lot of, you know what I'm saying, industry
for sure
that you would look up to in the industry. But I mean, I think he's like the prime example of what you would say, like the Bay being blackballed out the industry.
Because think about this, back in the 90s, a lot of Bay Area artists had deals.
Yeah.
Spice One had a deal.
Yep.
40 had a deal, was on Jive. There's like Dell was on Elektra. Souls of Mischief was on Jive Zamba. You had there's a lot. Richie Rich was on Def Jam.
Yeah.
There's JT was on Atlantic. There's a lot.
But I think a lot too comes from the Bay. Also has that realness to it.
Absolutely.
So a lot of labels didn't want to really deal with that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want to deal with the Messy Mars, the CM, those type of, you know what I'm saying, the lavish, because they felt like it comes with
liability.
Yeah, it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? It really comes with, because
of course I forgot the Loonies was on New Tribe Rap a lot. Yeah.
So it's like, bro, it's like, come on, man. People, they really in the Bay really live it because it's a different struggle out there. You know what I mean? And so I feel like the music, they just expressing what they really live, but it is different. I feel like the labels was kind of shying away from that. They're like, party gonna get shut down, the club might get shut down, this might, you know what I'm saying? You never know what happened. It's just,
you haven't been to a party or a show in the Bay if it don't get shut down. Yeah, come on, well, don't get shot up. Yeah.
So it's like, and so if we know it, the labels know it too. So it's kind of like, man.
Even though that's more for back in the day. Nowadays, I feel like, you feel me, people are somewhat growing past that.
Yeah, well, see, I feel like they're growing past it because you got the artist that's breaking out, that's a little bit on the outskirts from the base, like the Sacramento, like the Mozzie.
And all those Stockton kids.
Yeah, and Mozzie really took it, I feel like, on a level. He really broke a lot of doors open. You know,
him getting that deal with
CMG was big. That's huge. Yeah, that was huge. But I feel like even before that deal, he's one of those people that he had songs like the dude from Boston Millies. He had songs, like he was really, Mozzie really gets around. You know what I mean? He really makes it happen, and he got hella good music.
He was slithering.
Yeah, hella good music. People was really seeing what he's doing, and he's somebody, like I said, he's not. It's, you know, Sacramento's not technically the Bay, but people think that, you know, the outside world, that's the Bay to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What he was doing, I feel like, really put on, and he comes from that filthy cloth. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And but yeah, I think Mozzie really opened the doors. His camp, you know what I'm saying? They do good things over there, and yeah, they taking off in the Bay for sure.
There's also, like, I feel like the Bay has a very specific regional sound.
Yeah, the sound too. See, that's the thing too. When you got a regional sound, you got to have the people got to gravitate to it. The people got to want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Besides California, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the thing about the West Coast is California is unique because in the East Coast you can go an hour, every hour you're in a different state, and that's a different culture and a different, you know what I mean?
This is a fact.
You know what I mean? Here, you go an hour, you're still in California. You go another hour, you're still in California. You go, you know what I'm saying? So that, and then in the Bay, being that it just has that bass sound, you gotta not only break through California, but then you gotta break through, you know what I mean?
A lot of predominantly white cities.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is too. Just the way California is set up as a region. You know what I mean?
Because the closest thing to the Bay, other than SAC and then down to LA, you got Portland,
the Seattle. Yeah. So the way it's a little different kind of breakthrough for the Bay.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like
those are both hella far away. And there's like nothing but white people in between.
Yeah. And when people hear about, and that's the thing too, the Bay is so broad. It's like, you know, when people say most people when they from the East Coast South and they think California, they're gonna think LA. You know, LA. The Bay, when you say the Bay, like I said, the Bay is just people really don't know the Bay. Like they don't even know if it's a San Francisco artist. They don't know if it's the Oakland artist. They don't know if it's a this artist. It's just
don't begin to ask them about Richmond or Vallejo. Yeah, they don't know that San Jose is a part of it.
Yeah, they don't know. Yeah, they think
Sac's a part of it.
Yeah, Hayward.
Yeah, they've never heard of that. Shout out to the Sac. All those cities love them.
They don't even know there's a South San Francisco.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. So it's like, you know what I mean? Boom. Which is really the hood of San Francisco.
Yeah. That's a whole other world.
Yeah.
That's a whole other world out there.
Yeah.
Now, what I always think when I break down like the Bay Area style and sound, it's be yourself. The Bay's will accept, like, they're gonna like what they like, but there's no real formula to what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You could try to tap into that Bay Area sound or formula, whatever era it's in, whether it's mob music back in the day or hyphy or, you know what I mean, whatever the new Bay sound is of nowadays. But you could do some shit that's way outside the box, like sonically. Even like look at Mac Dre. What Mac Dre did sonically was very out of step with what everybody else was doing. Look at Nicotina, Frisco native. Like everything Nicotina does is he's his own realm, essentially.
I even think like Larry June,
perfect example.
Larry June is something special we got.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
He's
Larry June, all black.
Man, you know what I mean? He's like, honestly, I put him up there with G-Eazy on the, as when you talk about the Bay, he's like he's really top tier,
and that's top tier. He's got the shit with Alchemist, boom bap wave. What I love about Larry, and I love Larry and Cardo together is a great.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But what I really like about Larry is he's one of them dudes that he'll get people know who he is all over. But when you come to the Bay, that's royalty.
Yeah, royalty for sure. For sure. Yep.
It is different. Now, final Bay Area question. I could go on a Bay tangent for fucking hours. So I love. Now, one of the biggest cultural differences between Los Angeles and the Bay Area is that we're a gang town.
For sure.
The Bay typically. Never, other than like there's a few like Asian gangs, and of course the Mexicans be banging.
Yeah,
but it's different now.
Yeah,
and there's like
definitely different. So
there's gangs in.
Yeah, it's weird now.
It was like the violence was predominantly turfs and blocks.
Yeah, so first it'd be like Hunters Point,
right?
The boys on you know what I'm saying. You got people on Third, Trail Hill,
Big Block.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Now. You got Fillmore Bloods,
right?
You got Bloods on the Mission. Like you got like it's weird. Like before, like you said, before you only had Sereno, Norteño, and you had
some Asian
triads.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, down in Chinatown. But other than that, the only gangs you'll find was you had a couple in Oakland, like. You got a couple blood gangs in Oakland, but you got to go way up to Sacramento.
And back in the day, like really, like so, my memory living out there, every once in a while, some Crips and Bloods would come, try to set up shop, and they would get ran the fuck up out of there.
Yeah, it never worked because, like you said, it's not a gang city. But now, it's definitely changing. I don't know if it's if they're bringing the culture up from LA that's changing. I don't know if it's the music that's changing, because a lot of it comes from the young dudes. So I don't know if it's the young dudes, the music that's changing the young dudes, but they catching a lot of cases out there. The young dude, man, they going,
It's slimy.
It's like, yeah, I was about to say that, especially them Stockton boys.
Oh, Stockton, like that's another world.
Yeah.
And Stockton been slimy. Stockton been had gangs. I've kicked into Stockton a grip. I got a lot of family out there. I love Stockton. Never gone out once without there being shots by the end.
Stockton gets real tricky. But also, I think to be honest, I don't know. You got a couple in San Jose too, you know.
They've always had. There's that one.
San Jose had a couple.
There's that one Crip gang out there.
I think they've had a couple for a while, but other than that, like
they call vigilantes.
But it's not a gang town at all. It's just all neighborhoods. Really, it's because especially San Francisco. San Francisco's a hippie town,
right?
You know what I mean? We come from. Everybody just wants to get high. I don't care if it's what it is, but everybody's trying to get high in San Francisco. Like that's just what it is.
But people get it twisted. Like what I tell people all the time, because people like, there's always like the gay joke about San Francisco and shit. Like, there's a lot of gay people. There's a lot of gay people in LA, a lot of gay people in New York, Atlanta, whatever. You feel me? Like,
but see, the thing about San Francisco and that, a lot of people don't know that's even that is like kind of centralized. It's in a whole district, district. You know,
they have their own
little area. You know what I mean? Their own street, the crosswalk is even painted right, but like they have their own everything. Flamingos, like you'll know when you're in that area. So trust me, like, because like I said, you can go to Potrero Hill and you can start talking that nonsense.
Right.
You ain't gonna make it out.
No.
So it's like,
bitches will set you up in them. That's the thing. What I tell people all the time, I'm like, and as someone that has been on every block in the town, right, in East Oakland, West Oakland, North Pole, all that, I would rather be in the most active. Like, you'll get caught slipping in the projects in Frisco is grimier than anywhere in the Bay, maybe besides like North Richmond. Like the slimiest parts of Frisco.
It gets real bad.
You got no business.
100 Point get
Sunnydale,
real man.
You got no business going there.
Trying to tell you.
Period. So people really got Frisco.
I love taking people through hood tours through San Francisco, you know, showing them the real. I would say the real San Francisco, just showing them both sides of San Francisco. You know what I mean? I'll take you to the water, to the wharf. Then I'm going to take you to the project so you can really see how, you know what I mean? It gets real.
Picos and choppers. That's all you're going to see.
It get real out there.
You'll see 15-year-old like Pacific Islander kids holding choppers bigger than their whole body.
The Samoans out there.
Not even lying.
They don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? The Tongans.
Tongans, Samoans, all
Tongans,
that.
they 13 and they're going to be 6'3", 4'2", you know what I'm saying? 400 pounds, you know what I'm saying?
The VX out there, all that shit. None of them fools playing.
It's crazy though.
But you know the vibe. So tell me about your origins into the music game, how it got popping for you.
So let's see. I used to, well, I'm gonna say I do music, but I'm more focused on the management.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've been doing the management for a while too. I think that's what became more profitable for me. You know, so I just kind of ran with that. Boosie was my first person to manage.
That's like a huge undertaking out the gate.
But see, we consider ourselves cousins, so we basically family. So the thing with me and him is he kind of just forced me into it. You know, he kind of just
break it down. Is this post prison Boosie or This is after he got out?
Yeah. And so it was just a matter of instead of people calling him, they're gonna call you. You know what I'm saying? And then it just kind of kept rolling like that. And just everywhere we go, we just always on the road together. So
are you his specific West Coast liaison, or are you?
Yeah, I do the West Coast, but I'll take it. But I book him anywhere because like I could do a show in Florida right now and book him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I specifically do the West. You know what I mean? That's what I take care of. We got Jay, we got Shaw to take care of the East, in the South. But he the type of dude, when I tell you it's the phone going off 24/7. So it's like you need 3-4 people to run that machine, you know.
Right.
And he also has a label, you know what I mean? He runs a label to himself. He has the Badass Music Syndicate, you know what I'm saying? That's his. So we also kind of help do all that, you know, run those artists, run the label, make sure everything's just a well-oiled machine, you know. How it's supposed to be.
Now, most of us fell in love with Boosie's music back in the Trill family.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the mind of a maniac to set it off. Day.
Yeah, set it off, all that. You feel me? Gangster music, you feel me? All of it. Now, we loved Boosie and Webby. Yep. That was always a thing. Is there ever a chance to see Boosie and Webby
they
on
cool.
some music again, though?
Yeah, it's not like they not friends or anything. They cool. Because, like, let me tell you how cool they is. So, like, everybody knows Boosie. He had a situation last week. And so the show he was supposed to be playing that in Louisiana, Webby took over for him.
Okay.
He took that set for him. So, you know what I mean? So it's definitely, when it happened, Webby, he made sure to reach out and do what he got to do. You know what I mean? If anything was to happen, I know Webby going to make sure he do what he has to do. So it's just a matter of, I think people just grow apart, you know what I mean? Get older, grow apart.
I kind of always got the vibe that Webby didn't even like making music.
Yeah,
he was just really good at it. Like,
yeah, and that's another thing too. Like Boosie is like a real. He can go in the studio. He's making music all the time. He just dropped the album right before this happened. The best of 2020.
Boosie can burp on a record and it'll sound good. Like like.
So, and I feel like Webby though, he does a lot of things. You know, he does a lot of things, but they're both well off. So also, you know, when you get to a certain status in the music, yeah, you still do your shows, but I feel like for the everyday life, he just got a lot of different, his hands in a lot of different things, and he feels like it's just taking care of him that way, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to be in the studio 24/7. But Boosie, yeah, he does a lot of different things, but he loves to be in the studio 24/7. You know what I mean? He gotta drop a record, like he gotta be in the studio. He's not gonna miss 2 days without the studio, you know, 3 days without the studio, like.
So much, like, I gotta say, of all the records, I love so much Boosie music. No Juice, bruh. I'll slap that on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. One thing about him,
Crazy. That's crazy, another one. Like, crazy.
Just being in the studio with him, man. This dude is like a real genius when it comes to the music. Like it's, man. Like I seen a lot of history being made in the studio with him. He just. Whether he's writing, whether he's not writing, like, because he does both, you know what I mean? Like, when he really feel it, he gonna write. And it is crazy, because even when he don't write, it still comes out crazy. You won't even tell. Like,
right.
He write it. But, yeah, man, he's something special to the music game, for sure. Like,
why do you feel like Boosie, at his age, is still so relevant to the youth, when there's so many artists that are even younger than him that, like, try to copy the current trends and they can't, you know?
See, with Boo, he has kids. So this is the thing about him. He has kids that are the age of what we consider what would be the word for it? He has for
relevant.
The kids that know what's relevant, that are considering what's hot right now.
Yeah.
He has those kids.
Yeah.
So he can kind of just, yo, Tootie, what's going on? You know what I mean? What's hot? You know what I mean? And also too, he knows how to reinvent himself. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like a lot of people, we'll be out sometimes, and a lot of people just know him for the put your pussy lips on lives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then, or some people may know him for his newer music. You know what I mean? Just know Boosie Badass. They might not even know Lil Boosie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just him being able to reinvent himself and keep up with what's going on. When he knew social media, like COVID hit and social media was everything everybody was looking at, he made sure then, okay, I'm gonna be on it and that's all you're gonna be looking at then. Boom. Yeah, he just I don't know what, and you know, I think what about him too, he does what a lot of people want to do. And he says what a lot of people want to say, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he just lives a life too that I feel like I see, and a lot of people want to live. You know what I mean? He shows it to you. You know, everybody want to have topless pool parties at their house, and you know what I mean?
For sure.
100 bitches, you know what I'm saying, running around going crazy. You know what I mean?
Ratchet bitches. Yeah. You want their drawers to drop, throw on some Boosie music.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody wants that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just a thing. And then you got to, if you really meet him too, I think too, when people meet him, how friendly he is, how open he is, and how cool he is, I think that's too what keeps him so alive and relevant. You know what I mean? And so in tune, and just why people love him so much. You know what I mean? Because the way you see him is really the way he is. You know what I mean? It ain't no, Heck yeah, like he really gonna give you what you need. He's really, you know what I mean?
He don't turn his swag on. He's like
just,
that.
yeah, it's really, it's, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing, like, it's really in him. It's not on him. Because, you know, if it's on you, it can fall off.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's in him. So, you know what I mean? So.
Do all the kids still got the Boosie fades?
Yeah, for sure. That's like a mandatory thing. It's like, I ain't gonna lie, it's not even just the kids. You got the kids, you got the all the cousins, the nephews, you know what I mean? So it's like, man, if I say, let's say 20 people from Badass was to walk down the street backwards, you probably think there was 20 Boosies. You know what I'm saying? You're
right.
Like, oh my God. It's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's like a real cut. It's not like, but it is a real cut. And if you go to a lot of barbershops in the South and they have the wall, the Boosie fade is up there. Yeah, that's like.
He's changing barbershop culture.
Yeah, for sure.
Romances all over the place. Yeah. Now, you brought up something. You said that Boosie speaks his mind.
Yep.
He speaks his mind to the point where sometimes it's really controversial.
Yeah, for sure.
As a manager, how do you, because he seems like the kind of guy that he don't give a fuck about media training and things of that regard. Yeah,
that's the thing about it. So you got to realize too, him being he's not a young dude in the game. He's somebody that's been in the game. He's been there, done that. He's been through bad deals, good deals. He's been through this. He's been through labels. He's been through, you know, he's seen it all. So some things too, and you got to realize we learned the game from him. Everybody that's around him, we all learned the game from him. I can't say all of us, whether it's Shaw, all of us, we all learned the game from Boosie. You know what I'm saying? We came in it because of him. So some things I feel like we just can't tell him.
Right.
Yeah, we do tell him a lot of stuff. We do advise him a lot of stuff, but there's some things you just can't tell him. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? What can you tell a dad of 8 kids?
But then there's like,
you're like, yo, you can't tell me nothing.
But then there's like savvy moves that I've seen him make. Like he had the controversy, the flack about like the gay comments or whatever, right? Like, or the homophobic comments.
Yeah.
And then like he hired a gay person on his staff.
Well, see, no, that's the thing though. Like that. So that's the perfect thing. Like so a lot of people don't know. Like, yeah, his assistant is gay.
Right.
His assistant's been, Jay's actually been hired he's been around for over 10 years.
So he been gay. Nothing new.
Yeah, this is nothing new. We've always had Jay around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. There's never been no certain feeling. We never felt a certain way. We don't, you know what I mean? We sit, like we all chill. We all full blown conversations. There's never no type of, so that's why when I think people just took that when he said certain things about a certain person, yeah, they just kind of took it as a whole group.
Right.
But he literally was just talking about a person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the thing too, I feel like. And he's a little older. He comes from the old school, you know what I mean? Like even like my mom. They don't well, I can see, my grandma in that era, they didn't like, you know what I'm saying, the gays, you know.
Motherfuckers used to talk crazy back in the day.
Dudes belong with girls. So back then, so he
beyond just about races, whatever.
All of that.
People say crazy shit that would never get a pass now.
Yeah, so I feel like
even look at our movies and shit we used to have. Them jokes ain't flying.
They don't even got the same type of movies no more.
Right.
So I feel like he just comes from that era and that old law. You know what I mean? So being with the old law, a lot of stuff for him just don't pass. You know what I mean? So and with like some people would think it's funny or I don't know. It's just I don't know, but he's serious though. It's like, but he doesn't have nothing wrong, harmful or wrong. And then you see, like you said, he has his daughter, you know what I'm saying? So so he never had a problem with gays. You know?
Right.
They're always around. And then you gotta look too, he lives in Atlanta. They're everywhere.
It's not the place to live.
They're literally everywhere. Yeah. So it's like, bro, he doesn't have a problem. It just was a certain individual, you know what I mean, in this, you know, and when he can say things that, you know, he ain't supposed to say, but
it just made me wonder, like, as a manager, not just even that specific situation, but I feel like you have a lot of fires to put out. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, you know what's crazy? I feel like when he says a lot of things, people expect it, though. Right. Like, there's a certain situation. By the way, let me go on record and say, he never said anything that bothered me. Yeah. Like, I think he's fucking amazing. It's hilarious, fool. Like, I love. No, it's crazy because, like, even now, like, certain, they're like, I wonder what Boosie gonna say. So, like, so now they're expecting to see what they want to know what he's gonna say. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, let's see what, you know what I mean? But, you know, I don't really get it too much.
I don't think none of us ever really get it. They just, they just take it and say, oh, that's Boosie. You know what I mean?
What's Boosie's relationship with Vlad like nowadays?
Oh, we always good with Vlad.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I just talked to Vlad yesterday. No, Vlad's always solid. Okay. Yeah, yep. People talk crazy about Vlad, but I can say, and Vlad's actually from the Bay too.
He is.
Yeah. And he's been around.
I think he's from Berkeley.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like people be cultural, like, oh, that isn't. I wouldn't say that's something for him. He wouldn't fit in that lane because he's been around.
Vlad was in like a Cypress Hill music video in like 1991.
Yeah, he's been in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's been in the game. He's been somebody that's been putting people on in the game. It's but yeah, they give him a lot of blame for bullshit.
Being such a prevalent, outspoken, charismatic personality, Boosie is literally perfect for the podcasting space.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's going to be a realm where he, God willing, takes off at a certain point, or?
Well, see, he's into the movie realm right now. Okay. So he has his film company. He's been writing a lot of films. He has a new film getting ready to drop out. No Honor Amongst Thieves. Mm-hmm. He put out his movie My Struggle. He did the Where's MJ. He's had movies back then. Mm-hmm. So I think the movie thing is where he wants to go.
Okay.
The podcast thing, I think we like it. But I feel like he probably doesn't like it because, like he said, the word's always getting him in trouble.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
2 hours of Boosie a week.
You know what I mean?
Piss the motherfuckers off.
Just think about it. So as a podcaster, you got to keep up. You got to keep up with current events, keep up the trends, So I feel like certain things will. Because he has to talk about it, it might be not, Yeah, so I don't think he wants to do the podcast thing because of that. It's just people because of the 50-50 of how he gets for what it says. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you feel like Boosie is now at an age where he's kind of transcended all of his street beef from back in the day, or does he still have to walk around and move a certain way?
We don't have no beef. But I feel like it's just the business he's in,
and the jewelry, and just
the business he's in. Like you said, the jewelry, and just being a high value asset. He's literally he's a walking everything.
He's a trophy.
Yeah, he's a walking trophy to a lot of us, but to a lot of people also. Rappers are a walking lick. You know what I'm saying? So how do you know what I mean, make sure that doesn't happen? You know what I mean? And yeah, so we
is that a challenge for you as a manager?
Yeah, we try to keep security around at all times. You know what I mean? Like even with the situation that just happened, we had security. So we always have security.
Let's talk about it then.
We can talk.
Let's talk about the situation from an insider perspective.
Yep.
Break down to the people exactly what happened from your perspective, because I know that we wanted to have you on before and you weren't even at liberty to speak on certain things.
Yep.
And I know there's probably still some things you can't talk about, but
yeah, I mean, we could talk about everything that's kind of out there already, because basically everything is out there. But yeah, I was there. It was unfortunate. We shoot a music video
in Dago.
Yeah, in Dago. We didn't know what. Of course, everything we found out everything after, why it happened and this. But I know when it happened, it was just, we left the video shoot. We were surrounded by police. They pulled my car over.
Did you see the chopper and all that while you were shooting?
Well, that we didn't see the chopper, but supposedly when I read the paper, it was a drone that they brought out. Yeah, they didn't bring a chopper; they brought a drone.
Right, R2D2.
Yeah, and so honestly. I don't think I've seen the drone. I'm not too sure. But even if I did, I probably would have just thought it came with the music video.
Right, exactly.
And I think everybody would probably thought that too. And that's the crazy thing about it. Even if it was right there in our face, I think everybody would just
start like gigging in the
it's the music video, because nobody was just thinking of like we weren't thinking that was going on. The Instagram was being watched and stuff like that. But we had got pulled over and. Yeah, it was just bullshit after there. After that, like I said, we had security. Security, he took ownership of it, of the firearms and everything. He actually got locked up too. The security got locked up that day. The driver got locked up that day with them, but I guess the police just wanted Boosie.
I remember there was like some clip that had surfaced about like, I guess like the dude had was supposed to put the wham away but didn't or something like.
Well,
oh, you were supposed to put that away. What the fuck, like.
Yeah, see, I don't know because see, I wasn't in their car because I was in the car behind them. Yeah,
and you got pulled over too.
Yeah, we got pulled over too. Well, they had to pull us over because that's the only way they were going to be pull Boosie over.
Right.
You know, what I mean, we were directly behind them, and even when they were pulling me over, we were still you know, what I mean, we were still moving. You know what I mean? I was just moving. They were just behind me until they kind of cut me off in the front. And they was like, all right, now you're not going nowhere.
Right.
And when they did that, they kind of did the same thing to their car too. So they did block me off and block their car off and immediate search. And so, like I said, now after we see all the details, we can see why it was an immediate search. But yeah, there was no questions. We just get out, search. Yeah.
And why are they saying there are details? What are the details that allude to them having a requirement for an immediate search?
I guess the police were watching one of the guys' Instagrams that we were doing the music video. Well, not who we were doing the music video with. I guess one of the people that were there was on live. Police were watching him. He was under investigation, I guess, by the police. And then from there, they just kind of tied 2 and 2 together. They saw where he was, and then they sent, I guess, the drone there. The drone just got all that footage, you know, whatever the drone got, but it gave them, you know, that what they needed to do what they did. Because like I said, as soon as the video was over, they were already ready. They were lined up outside the neighborhood, 15, 20 cars ready. Yeah. And as soon as it came out, I said, uh-oh, it's about to be.
Man.
I knew it, yeah.
So what is the formal charge that they're bringing?
Possession of a firearm by a felon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Felon with a firearm. Now, a lot of time in LA County, people are getting OR'd for felon with a firearm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even me, I had the situation. I had that same situation last year 2 times in a row, and they did the same thing. They kind of just let it go. But LA's a little different. You know, one thing about LA is LA has a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, and
our jails are full than a motherfucker.
They're full, and you got to realize when they pull, like, let's say they pull me over and they find it, I wasn't doing anything with it. And for every one person they find not doing something with it, they probably done found 4 people actually doing something with it. Right. So that's how they see it. They just like, you know what I mean? So DA reject. But then San Diego's a little different. You know, being somebody lived in San Diego is, I consider it a military and border town.
It is both of those things.
You know what I mean?
Port town.
Yeah, and they don't really. They don't want the bullshit. And
tourism is a huge industry.
Tourism is huge there. And then the unfortunate too is like where we were. You know what I mean? If you want to go to the gang aspect, you know, San Diego's a blood city.
Right.
Then you have the one Crip set.
Right.
And we just happen to be with the one Crip set. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it was just
unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like even because like I talked to people from out there, like Mitchie Slick and them.